Assalamu alaikum and Tenakoto. Ko Clementine Lee Toko Ingawa. Thank you all for coming today. Today I'm shaving my head with Nihad al-Batniji, a Kiwi Palestinian who's tragically lost 78 family members in the genocide since October 2023. I'm shaving my head in solidarity with the Palestinian women who've had to shave their heads to prevent diseases due to the dire water shortages caused by the Israeli blockade. As a Vietnamese war refugee who grew up in the US with a Palestinian best friend named Dunya, I deeply understand the trauma caused by Western colonialism and imperialism. I just got back a few days ago from helping my parents relocate to Vietnam for retirement after 32 years living as war refugees in the US. The deep healing that happened upon reconnecting with our whānau and ancestral lands is beyond words, and it breaks my heart that Dunya is not able to do the same with her whānau in Palestine. The collective liberation movement showcases the interconnectedness of all oppressed peoples. I am not free, you are not free, until we are all free. Even before this year's bombings, more than 96% of the water supply in Gaza has been considered unfit for human consumption due to the Israeli blockade since 2007. The situation has been exacerbated by Israel's decision in October to cut off the water and fuel supplies, shut down desalination plants, and disrupt all solid waste collection, creating a fertile environment for insects and rodents that transmit diseases. Shame! Palestinians have no running water essential for drinking, cooking, cleaning, bathing, and washing clothes. Even before the latest bombings, Palestinians had to spend hours in line just to get a small bucket of water from a well. The lack of clean water for drinking and cleaning gives rise to diseases like alopecia, ringworm, lice, hair abscesses, lymphopathy, bacterial infections, pus, and hair loss. And the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees has warned that Israel is using water as a weapon of war. Shame! Shame! While Israel has killed many Palestinians since it started stealing their land in 1948, its relentless bombing since October has left approximately 144,000 as a low estimate, probably closer to 500,000 Palestinians dead, maimed, or missing, and millions more suffering forced displacement, starvation, and disease. The world is currently going through a mass awakening fueled by the horrific genocide being live streamed from Palestine to really see the tremendous loss of life of global life in the forms of plants, animals, and BIPOC bodies, BIPOC meaning Black, Indigenous, people of color, in the last 500 years of European colonialism. Whole rainforests, entire animal species, and ancient BIPOC cultures have been and are currently being obliterated in the name of Western hegemony and capitalism, which has systemic oppression ingrained in its DNA, with scarcity and greed for exponential, unsustainable, cancer-like growth, the basis of its model. Western dominance, led by white male supremacy, capitalism, and individualism, must end for our planet to heal. And it is us, the people of privilege living under these Western powers, who must dismantle these toxic systems from the inside out. The world needs those of us living in the European Empire and its not yet independent colonies, that's French people, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Germans, Brits, Americans, Canadians, Australians, Kiwis, to stand up and fight back and shut down the military-industrial complex that is literally destroying the planet. I know you think New Zealand is too small to have a global impact, but it is just the right size to mobilize 3.5% of the population, which is the critical mass needed for peaceful revolution, to demand the actual change and be a spark of inspiration to role model to other marginalized populations living under empire how to organize and dismantle injustice. Aotearoa allows its Māori indigenous population more rights than other colonizations like Australia, Canada, and the US. However, Māori still haven't gained their independence from their colonial oppressor, the antiquated British monarchy, like Vietnam has from the French, which is why I feel so much solidarity with Māori, with Palestinian, with all oppressed people still being exploited by Western powers, such as the many African nations who've gained independence yet are still to this day exploited by Western nations. The wealthy elite have fooled you into thinking it's the Black and brown immigrants who are stealing from you, when in fact it's you who have been stealing from us for centuries, and the wealthy elite are in fact stealing from you through tax evasion and wage theft and exploitation. It doesn't have to be this way. All of these systems are made up with arbitrary, antiquated rules to a rigged game that we can no longer have to play. We can and we must take back our power by doing our own inner work, healing on an individual as well as collective level through therapy and educating ourselves on our collective history, while disseminating those educational resources to our loved ones so we can stand hand in hand in values-aligned relationships to build a new future. And this future needs us to creatively imagine a new game with fair rules and enact laws that actively reverse the damage done to plants, animals, and BIPOC lives. On a governance level, reparations and land-backed indigenous Kaitiaki who know how to steward and heal the land and its people is a good start, but it's only the beginning. We must all work to heal ourselves and decolonize ourselves and re-indigenize and deprogram our internalized white male supremacy, capitalistic, individualistic conditioning, and reprogram ways of collective living that so many of us in the Western world have lost. I know I feel that sense of loss. Half of me grieves for having lost so much time disconnected from my ancestral heritage and community, while the other half of me knows that my lineage's wisdom, strength, and resilience is coursing through my veins, inherited from a people who refused to be exploited, enslaved, and fought against gigantic odds to win their independence in the face of French colonialism and American imperialism. It is the same courage and conviction coursing through the veins of Palestinians, Maori, and all oppressed peoples. Global freedom for the oppressed will take the oppressors, and that's anyone living in Western power, including myself and everyone here, to give up a bit of our privileges, comforts, and luxuries, such as boycotting the iPhone 16 and buying refurbished phones to ensure that all peoples, including those in the Congo, are free from exploitation and have an equal chance to build a good life that they can be proud of. I know it might seem emotionally, physically, mentally tough to fight the good fight towards justice, equality, and collective liberation, but it's also hard spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to continue ignoring the obvious injustices being live streamed to us daily. Our hearts and our souls are aching because we're made out of the same stardust and recycled water as the person next to us, as the Palestinian in Gaza. Science has shown that energy is neither created nor destroyed, just transformed into another state. So we are all made out of the same stuff. We're all one, and if we just could cooperate like bees in high consciousness do, because they understand that they're part of a larger collective. Perhaps we have much to learn from these cooperative bees, whose vital existence coincidentally pollinates life, food, and whose existence or extinction dictates our extinction. This current racist, patriarchal system is crushing our hearts and souls because we're meant to thrive in loving community with people, animal, and plant life, not sitting alone in concrete high-rise boxes, staring at another box, TV, laptop, buying the latest trends. So please, wherever you are in your journey, start or be encouraged to continue taking action to heal, disrupt, and reconstruct our co-created society. Because activism isn't about being perfect, and it can take many forms, from being behind the scenes organizing, making food, frontline direct action, creating art, calling representatives, divesting, advocating for legislation changes, donating, protesting, social media campaigning, survey and data collection, running for local offices, fundraising, signing petitions, sporting liberation paraphernalia, contacting corrupt corporations, mentoring refugees, liaising with media, boycotting, you name it, just find a few roles that you're good at and take action in your local communities, because it will be beneficial for you as it is for others. Because if you think the path to your own healing, growth, and thriving is through individualistic therapy solely focused on you, you're missing the point. Western therapy, such as CFT, ACT, MBCT, EFT, MBSR, all of those have stolen so much wisdom from Eastern, African, and indigenous cultures and repackaged them in individualistic, secular forms without the context of collectivism and spirituality. Emphasis there on spirituality, not man-made religions necessarily. Once you start healing your own wounds, particularly from childhood, you'll realize that those wounds have deeper roots in ancestral, historical, intergenerational trauma. I'm now going to sit down and start the shaving process and speak just a little bit more while we shave.